Getting started with After Effects. Adobe After Effects is a wonderful tool to add effects and motion graphics to your videos. It is the most used software for video productions. It comes with a technical challenge, so let me introduce you to a whole new world of After Effects where anything is possible. So let's get started. When you start the Adobe After Effects program, the first thing that you will notice is that it comes with a lot of panels. See, all these panels. And each of these panel or window, you can say, will serve you with different options or different functionality. This panel over here will have different functionality. This one will have different, this is different, and this bottom one is different. Right here in this top area, the left side, is the project panel. See, you can read here, it's project written. This is a project panel. This panel will collect all the elements that you are going to work with over here. That is, video clips, sound effects, images, everything gets collected in here. Whatever you want to work with will be listed here in the project panel. Now we'll start editing them by dragging them to the timeline. Once the elements get collected here, we are going to drag them to the timeline. This portion over here is the timeline area. Once it's done, you will see the output in the composition panel. Right here, the composition panel. When you drag the elements from your project panel to the timeline, the elements will be seen here, and this panel is called the composition panel. You can read here, it's written composition. Then at the right side we have got some more effects and presets panel. This one, this panel have all the effects and preset for the After Effects video that we can use in our composition. These effects can be dragged onto the elements in the timeline over here to create visual look and adjust that according to our project requirement. Whatever effect you want, you can just select it from your effects and preset and just drag it onto the timeline element and the effect will be implemented. Now, if you are looking for a particular window, you can always go to the top menu. Right here, this is a top menu, and select window. You can find all the available panels right here. So these are some of the panels you can see, and we are going to discuss all of these in our course. So let's start with the project panel. For this, we are going to first of all drag some of the elements. For this, we are going to first of all add some of the elements to our project panel. For that, go to File, Import, Files, and you can select your elements whatever you want, like this one, and let's import some images also. Let's select all of them and open. See, all the images are listed here, and your video and the music is also listed in the project panel. At present, you can see there is nothing on the composition panel and the timeline panel is not active yet. And one more thing, you can always drag the images or the elements, whatever you want, the video or the audio file, directly to the project panel. Let's delete this one, select it and press delete to remove it. Let's drag it. This one. This one. Let's select this and drag it onto the project panel. See, it's here. Okay, so these are the two ways you can import any element onto your project panel: by going to the file menu, selecting import and importing any of the element, and also you can drag and drop onto the project panel. Okay, once you have done that, you have to create a timeline. Right now it is not active, but to make this timeline, what you have to do is we have to create the composition. Now to create a new composition, you can click the icon right here. It says create a new composition, and a dialog box opens, a window opens with the settings of composition. Here you can select the size of the composition, any size you want. Currently it's 920 and 180, that is good for an HD TV. Frame rate, you can change the frame rate. It's better you keep it as 24 frames per second. You can change the duration, and I think the settings is fine. You can always change the background. You can change this to any color you want, but for now let us keep it as black. Click OK. Once you have clicked OK, a transparent composition appears on the composition panel. Now currently it's transparent, but you have selected the composition color to black, so press this toggle transparency grid and see the color you have chosen for the composition appears here. And also, to create a composition, what you can do, you can press your key from the keyboard, Command N or Control N, to create a new composition. This is a shortcut key, Control N or Command N, and the composition will be created. You can always name your composition over here. Okay, and now there is nothing in the timeline, but you can see that the timeline is active now. Okay, we don't want composition to close this. We can close this, even the composition 1. Let's create a new composition file, new composition, name it as test. See again, the test name composition is there with a black background and the timeline is active. But still the timeline is empty. That is the reason you are seeing a black empty composition that we have created. Or if you'll toggle this toggle transparency grid, but for now you can keep it anything you like, the transparent one or the filled one, anything you like for now. That doesn't make any difference. Now let's go back to our project panel. From here we are going to import the video file that we are going to work on. For this, let's import this one, resize it if you want by clicking onto the corner, pressing Shift and Alt. The size would be increased, and let's play this video. Go to the preview section and press play. Okay, so you have seen that the video, you can play the video this way, and now what we are going to do is we are going to import some of the images on this video. We don't have any flowers in here. Let's import some of the flowers and make this video look more beautiful. Drag it onto the test layer, decrease the size of the flower by selecting the corner, Shift and Alt, and you can place it anywhere you want. Okay, let's import some more of them. Shift, Alt and drag it by holding it from the corner, resize it and place it anywhere you want. Let's take the third one, make it above the video layer, select the layer and hold the corner, Shift and Alt, resize it, again drag it anywhere you want. Now image number 4, get it above the video layer. It's not transparent, let's leave this one. It won't look good in the video. Let's take the another flower, select the flower layer, image 5, select the corner, Shift and Alt, hold it and drag it anywhere you want. Now the last one, decrease the size, resize it and place it. Now let's see what happens. Let's play the video. See, the video is playing and these flowers that we have imported onto the timeline panel are still there. So this way you can add any image to your video. See, it's looking beautiful, I think. Good. Now comes the audio section. At present there is an audio that is in the video itself. We don't want that. Let's listen to it first. To listen to the audio of the video that is already present in the video, what you have to do is you have to select ramp preview. Select this. Okay, so now you have seen that there is already an audio in the video itself. We don't want that one. So what we can do is decrease the audio level. And now let's see the ramp preview. The audio is not there because we have decreased the audio level and the audio is not audible now. Okay, now to change the audio with this one, select the audio, the music that you have already imported in the project panel, and now let's go to the ramp preview again. It's there, a new music to your video. Okay, I think it's looking very good, and with a new music it is looking absolutely awesome. Okay, I think it is very good. Now let's see how we can import effects to your video. For this video, let's select and let's go to rainfall. Let's create some rainfall. So this is how you can import any of the, drag it onto your effects from the effects panel. And for this video, let's change the effect. I don't think it's looking too good. What in here, let's change the effect. Let's rainfall one. Select the line sweep. Looking very nice and very natural. So these are some of the uses of panels for your video creation in After Effects, and there are lots of more effects and lots of more amazing things to do with After Effects to make your video look awesome. So let's move ahead with our next lecture. working with text in Adobe After Effects. Now, in this lecture, I'm going to show you how you can create text for your videos. You must have seen many text scrolling onto the video with some effects, or some typed text is appearing on the video. How that text is created for your video, I'm going to show you right here in this lecture. This lecture is all about text. What all text you can use for your video, how you can align them, how you can resize them, how you can color them, and how you can animate your text in your video. For that, we have to start with our project by creating a composition first. Let's go to the File, New Project. Let's create a new project. A fresh new project appears here. It's empty right now because there is no composition, nothing in the timeline, no elements in the project panel. Now, to create the composition, go to Composition, click New Composition, or you can select Ctrl plus N or Command plus N from your keyboard. This time let's change the background color. Let's make it dark blue, and let's name it text. Rest all settings are good. Click OK. And now a blue composition appears on the composition panel, which is of text name. And also you can see the text composition is here on the project panel as well, and your timeline is active. Okay, at present the composition is empty. There is nothing to play. You can't see any preview. Now what we are going to do, we are going to type in some text. For that, select the horizontal type tool right here from the top menu, and once you have selected it, get your cursor on the composition panel, click it, and type your text. You can type anything. For this, let's type in working with text in Adobe After Effects with your host Dipali Sharma. Now you can see that you don't have enough space. You can always use next line. You can select the area you want in next line and press enter. And the black color, it's appearing in black color, and black and blue doesn't look good. To change the color, let's select the text, and you can see here appears a character panel. For now we can close the effects and preset panel, we don't want that. And you can see the character panel appears here, and there is a fill color. Select this and change the color to white. Okay, you can see that the color has been changed to white, and it is visible now. It is looking good. To increase the size of the font right now is too small, and you want this font to be more clear and more visible on your composition. For that, let's increase the size of the font. From here you can increase or decrease the size of the font to whatever level you want, like this. And there are some more options in the character panel, like auto. Let's see what is this. See, if you are decreasing or increasing the amount from here, the bottommost line is moving and the gap between the top line and the bottom line is increasing or decreasing to whatever level you want. This is the change which you can make from this option. And now let's check this one. This actually stretches or squeezes your text on the composition. For now I think let's keep it to 0. We don't want any changes there. And this one, keep it 100. This is fine. Now let's see what vertical scale is for. See, this way you can increase or decrease the vertical stretch of your text. You can see that with this option you can stretch the text vertically. Okay. For now let's keep it to the original 100 points. Let's see what is this. This is a horizontal scale. You can stretch the text horizontally or squeeze it horizontally to whatever you want. For now let's keep it to the original. And further we have more of the options, like this one. This actually increases the stroke. We can always change the color of the stroke. Currently it's black. Let's make it red. Now if we'll increase the stroke, it is going to show the effect on your composition. Let's zoom it and see it this way. Okay. Stroke over fill, fill stroke over. With this you can see there is no change because it has been selected to fill stroke over. Fill stroke. Okay, so this was all about stroke. For now we don't want any stroke in our text. We can always make it disappear by clicking this icon, no stroke color, and the stroke color will be changed to no stroke. And now we have to change the font. We can select any font we want from here, this way. For this lecture let's select the this one is good, and let's align the text a bit more properly. And now I have changed the text to 3 line, and let's increase the size of the font. Let's increase the gap between the lines. It is looking good and properly visible. Now I have to align the text properly onto our project. Here are some paragraph alignment. Currently all the line is shifted towards the left. I want it to be centered. Let's select this one and bring your text here, and you can see the text is in center now. Let's select this one. The text will be shifted to your left. Right here you can see on the paragraph panel that all the text is shifted to its left. To make it appear at the center, select center text and drag it onto the composition. Here the alignment is center now. Again, if you want to shift the text to your right, you can select right align and all the text will be aligned to your right. For this project, let's select the centered one. It's looking good. Okay, now we can select the capital bold T here and see the text appears bold. We can deselect it to make it normal. We can always use italics if you want. Double T is for capital letters like this, and these are the subscript and superscript. For now let's select A. Let's make it superscript, and if you want to turn this to a subscript, let's deselect it. Again, it's a subscript now. Okay, for this text we don't want any subscript or superscript. Let's select it and change it to the original text. So this was all in the character and the paragraph panel. Now let's see how we can type vertically. Select vertical type tool and type Udemy. Udemy is typed vertically and we can place anywhere we want. So this is how you can type some vertical text. Now what we are going to do is we are going to animate this text. How? For that, let's select the text, drag it at the bottom and select the text layer, select the transform, and at the position click the timer, and you can see that a keyframe appears on your timeline. Let's make it for 30 seconds. Drag your marker to the 30 second to make it precise. The current time, click the current time and change it to the frame you want. Now select the text, hold the text and drag it onto the composition, and a key also appears here. You can see that it's animated now. Now let's play it. The text is appearing and with an animation. Okay, now let's add some more effect to it. Go to Windows panel and select Effects and Presets. Now let's add some effect to your text. Let's select Dissolve. And here we have animated the text till 30 time 30 from here till time 40 seconds. Let it appear on the composition by pressing this keyframe. You can place a keyframe which makes the text fixed onto the composition without any animation. There is no animation, it's not animating in this part. Now let's add dissolve. Select the time, go to effects panel, and at frame number 40 transition completion should be 0, and at one minute the transition should be at its maximum. So let's see. Let's play it. So you can see the animation on your text. This is how you can work with text on your After Effects video or projects that you're creating, and you can add any animation to it. Further in this course, we are going to learn more about so many things in After Effects, like shapes, more of animation, and animating characters, puppet tools, and so many things. For now, this lecture was all about the text effects. See you in our next lecture. Hey, welcome back to our next lecture, and it is the most exciting one: creating shape layers. Shape layers is the most interesting topic in this After Effects project, because with the help of shape layers we can add some shape to your composition or the video or the project that you're working on. You can add various types of shapes, and you can animate them, you can color them, you can do lots of amazing things with it. For now, let's create our first new project. File, new, Control Alt and N, Control Alt N, or you can select it from the file menu to create the project. Once the project is created, let's create the composition. As you already know, Control N, or you can select it from the menu. Let's change the background color this time to let's keep it white. Let's change the composition name to shapes, and there you go, the composition is ready. Okay, now you can see that you have some shapes here. Okay, to create shape on your composition, you'll have to select this tab over here which says rectangle tool Q. It shows different shapes and you can choose any of it for your composition. Or what you can do is you can right click onto your timeline area and select new shape layer. A shape layer appears on your timeline, but at present it doesn't have any shape. There is nothing on the shape layer. To create a shape, you'll have to select the shapes from the menu bar. If you are selecting a rectangle shape, you can create a rectangle shape from this. But see, the rectangle shape is appearing inside the shape layer. Now, for now, let's delete the shape layer and let's create directly from the shape layer. You can see the shape layer automatically comes on the timeline. So this is the shape, and this line, the layer that is appearing on the timeline, is the shape layer. Shape layer is one which carries all the shapes you are creating for your composition. Okay. Currently the fill color is pink. You can change this color by selecting the fill color to anything you want. Let's make it blue. You can always give them some stroke, selecting stroke and change the stroke color to whatever you want, like black for now, but it's not appearing in the shape. The reason is it's too thin. You can increase the size of the stroke this way. And now let's add some corners, proper corners to this shape. Let's change the corner. Go to add rounded corner. See, the corner are rounded now. You can change the radius to whatever you want. Okay. Now let's go to our shape again. I have Control Z. I've pressed Control Z to bring it back to our original shape. Now let's change the shape to rounded rectangle tool. Now let's make a rounded rectangle. See, the corner are rounded here. Again, you can change the color to whatever you want. You can change the color of the stroke, and also you can add some effects. Twist it this way. How nice is it looking now? Okay, now let's go to ellipse tool. Let's create an ellipse. See, I'm just dragging it on the composition and it's appearing somewhat oval shape. To make it a perfect circle, press shift and then create this circle. So this is how you can create a perfect circle. You can always change the color. Select the ellipse and change the color to red, and the stroke color, make it blue, and the shape looking nice. I think it's looking good. Okay, now let's make some more shapes. Polygon. Again, you can change the stroke thickness or color if you want. change it to anything. Zigzag strokes. See. Now let's go to our star tool. Let's make it gray and the strokes to somewhat red. Okay, now this is the star layer. Okay, now let's see some more shapes, how we can make some more different kind of shapes in Adobe After Effects. For that, let's delete all the shapes first. Select all the layer by dragging the cursor on all the layer and press delete on your keyboard. The shapes will be deleted. Now let's create a new shape. Go to the polygon tool and create a polygon first. You can see it has 5 sides right now. You can always change the color if you want, but for this part, let us see how we can change the sides, how we can increase or decrease the size, and how we can animate the shape and create different kinds of shapes and by increasing or decreasing the sides. Now let's go to the shape layer first. Select contents. Under that you see polystar 1. Select this and polystar path 1. Again select this, go to points. At present you can see there are 5 sides and the points here is also 5. You can increase it if you want. It's a circle. Increase or decrease. See, a triangle is made. Now let's animate it. Press this timer. Make the first key on the timeline. Drag it all to the frame number 30. Let's make it 30. Okay, and here I want to increase the sides and want to make this to a perfect circle. Okay, let's make it somewhere around 26. Okay, now let's play this. See, this is how we can change the shape and animate them. The triangle is converting into a circle as the sides of the shape increases. It's converting into a circle. Okay, now at perfect 30 frame the shape would be a perfect circle. It's a circle now. So this is how you can change the shapes and animate them. Now let's take a star and animate the star now. Let's create a star. Let's do it in a separate layer. Create a star. Bring it somewhere here. Go to polystar 1, polystar path 1. Again, there are 5 points. I want to increase or decrease, whatever you want to do. Let's, for now, for this animation, let's decrease the points to 3. Press the animation button for the keyframe. Go to frame number 40. And here I want around 30 points. Okay, now let's see if it's animating or not. Yeah, it's done. So this is called shape morphing. You can change the shape to whatever you want. You can increase or decrease the size, and you can animate the shape to whatever you want according to your project and according to your composition. You can make unlimited animation with this, and You can see it's animating. Let's play it one more time. Okay, at frame number 40 it's done. So this is how you can create any shape and animate them, color them, give them strokes, shape it to whatever you want, and make amazing looking videos for your project. So this was all for this lecture. Now there are more upcoming lectures for you to learn more of animation, more of graphics, and more of video creation effects. So till then, see ya. See you again in our next lecture. Further exploring animation. In this lecture, we are going to see what all animation we can make. So let's get on with it. For that, let's create a new project. For that, let's create a new project. Okay. Once the project is created, let's create the composition, Control N, or you can select it from the menu. Let's change the background to black this time, or anything you want. Name it as animation. Okay. Once the composition is created, you can see there is nothing in the timeline right now. So we'll be making some shapes and we'll be writing some text on this composition so that we can animate them. For this, first of all, let's import some background. Let's select some background image. Let's take this one. Scale it down. Okay. For scaling, you can always hold this corner pin and Shift and Alt, scale it down. Or what you can do is you can go to the transform, and from here you can scale down the image. And also you'll have to decrease the opacity. I think this is good. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to write some text on this. Take the text tool, the horizontal one, and let's write Adobe After Effects tutorial the poly. Okay. Once you have written the text, what you are going to do is we are going to animate them, and we are going to animate them one by one. We are going to create a shape around this. For that, let's create a polygon, and for this let's increase the sides first, make it something like this, 8 sides. Increase the size of the polygon. You can stretch it to make it look a bit oval shaped. Now decrease the strokes. Let's make it this way. Okay. Now let's select the text to animate them. Now select the first text to animate it. Press S for the scale animation, and now press the stopwatch to get the first keyframe. Over here, decrease the scale to almost 0. Now you won't be able to see the text, but now move your cursor to 10 frame, that is on 10th second here, and now increase the scale, and let's play this. See, the size of the text is increasing, it's appearing. Okay, now what we want to do is it's actually in the size of the text is increasing from the bottommost section of the text. We want this to appear from the center. For that, what we are going to do is, you can see this small dot. This is called an anchor. We have to move this to the center. Take this pan behind tool, anchor tool, and move this to the center. You don't have to shift the keys now. And now let's see our animation. It's appearing from the center. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to animate this text, the another one, the tutorial one. For that, let's get our cursor somewhere here. For that, let's place our cursor at the 10th frame, 10-second frame, and let's make the first key. Let's make the opacity 0, and after 10 more seconds, that is 20 seconds, bring back the opacity to 100. Now let's animate it, play it, and let's see. Okay, the tutorial text is not completely, has not been completely disappeared. Okay, now let's animate the tutorial text. Go to the layer, select the opacity, decrease the opacity to 0. Now move the cursor to 20 seconds here and increase the opacity back to 100. Now let's see the animation. First text appearing, now comes the second one. And for the third one, what we are going to do is we are going to animate the third one also. For that, let's check another type of animation for this. Go to with the Pali text, and now let's select S for scaling. Click on this icon over here, constraint. Now what you can do is you can change the scaling from different angle. Okay. For this, we are going to do is decrease the scale to 0 point. Okay, it's not appearing now. And what we are going to do is we are going to start the stopwatch, move the marker to 30th second, click OK, and now bring back the actual size, that is the 100. Okay, now let's play it. Good. Now we are going to animate this polygon shape. For that, what we are going to do, first of all, we are going to change this red color. I am not liking it at all. Let's make it white. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to first of all go to the shape layer, and you can see this text written as add and an arrow right beside it. Click here and select trim paths. So you have some trim paths here, and if I'll increase the start point, see what happens. The amount of start will actually give this type of animation, and if I'll click the end and decrease the value of its, and now if I'll do it with n and if I'll decrease the value, see what happens. So I'm going to do it with start position. Let's make it invisible right now. It's not visible to you by increasing the value. Now let's bring the cursor to its starting position, make it 100% invisible, and press the stopwatch for the first keyframe. Now go to 30th frame and make it 0. Make it 0. Okay. And make it 0. Okay. So now let's see our animation. Okay, it's fine. Now to give all the animation a bit smooth movement to make it look more professional, what we are going to do is select the text and go to its scaling, right click onto the keyframe assistant and easy ease. Now let's see. Do it for all the others. Go to tutorial, go to the keyframes, select both the keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Again, go to another text. What we are going to do is we are going to select the text, go to the and keyframes, select both of them, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Then again go to your shape layer and over here select your keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. This will give a smoother movement to your animation and it will look more professional and nice. Okay, it's looking good. Now this was all for this lecture, the animation part, the basic animation part. We are going to learn more of the animation in our next lecture. Till then, see ya.